I might say that,
Yeah?
is when we're there for
Almost.
an extended period. It's always something, Andy.
I'm as suave as you are.
That's the
Yeah,
good look.
I mean, just what's in the packet.
Okay.
Dave and I always told the story about how one time when they're renovating the
Christmas dinner.
we had, county supervisors arguing about the slope of this drainage pipe
They
or
just have to
something
skate
like
out
that.
for a few days.
Yeah, 2% or 3%, whatever it was, right? Like during the tax rate looking at your county board meeting. Dude, it's like, that's really not how it should be. It's more. You probably got a couple transformers or something. Okay. Yes. I enjoy when we talk about like purchasing pens and pencils. Back in the day, my older days. Sure. We would pass a borrowing for millions and millions of dollars, but talk about whether we should buy Dick twos or if the old number 2 pencil was the best option. Forest through the trees, huh? You have to understand, like, that's something that everybody has an opinion on. It's like, but when you're borrowing for millions of dollars, people are like,
I haven't seen it.
it's like, oh, it's just casino money. It doesn't seem
I'm raising my water. I'm not drinking it. It's just sitting outside.
Ready in the back? We're set. All right. Good evening, everybody. You are at a Plan Commission of the City of Wausau. It's Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. It is 5 p.m., 5:01 p.m., and you're at City Hall Common Council Chambers. We have a quorum of 5 of our 7 present tonight. And this will be a public hearing. First up is item 1 is the approval of the meeting minutes for November 26th. Would take a motion from Borneman and a second from Balkan. Working on my triple Bs. Any comments, cleanups, questions? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Item 2 is the public hearing. And the public hearing tonight is to discuss, is a discussion on the rezoning of 327 North 3rd Street from a DRMU to a DHMU. And that would be a downtown historic multi-use zone to allow for a restaurant and event space by Clyde and Company Holdings. So we would open that public hearing up to the public. Anyone wish to address that? And it looks like we have, don't be shy. We can arm wrestle for it.
I'm wrestling with the chair.
Please state your name and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, I'm Christine Martins.
I'm going to take that back. I don't think we have a time limit on that, do we?
I tell you what, I have like a minute and a half.
Okay, give it.
I'm Christine Martins, 1228 Arthur Street, Wausau. And just to preface what I'm about to say is actually more of a clarification of what Friends of Wausau Historic Landmarks did say and what was said in the media. I just wanted to let folks know what it truly is what we said. And we did not say landmark this building. We said use your resources wisely and please consider reusing what is there. We didn't say don't build or anything like that. Just please consider something other than raising the current building. This is what we sent in to be said. One of the goals of the Friends of Wausau Historic Landmarks is to bring attention to buildings of interest in the Wausau area that may be changed or raised. Historic preservation goes hand in hand with progress. Resources need to be used wisely. The HT Cobblery is a part of our historic downtown and therefore is of interest. Whereas this building is not a landmark candidate, we believe that the building should be repurposed or revitalized with needed alterations, if possible, rather than being razed, and that any changes need to echo the historical feel of the surrounding buildings. We recommend that the developer consider options such as possibly 1 and 2 that they provided with their proposal, rather than option 3, which seems to state rebuilding on the current foundation, which would be raising. We don't disagree with the rezoning that is proposed today. However, close attention should be paid to the future of this property. We encourage all those interested in how Wausau develops to watch the agendas and packets for the Wausau Plan Commission, and be sure to voice your opinion at meetings and by email. And thank you for letting me clarify what it is we actually did say. Thank you.
Thank you for your clarification. Public hearing is still open. Anyone else wishing to address the Plan Commission?
Sorry. Gary Gisselman, Alderperson, 5th District, 319 Park Avenue. I'm not here as a representative of the Preservation Commission, but I just want the Plan Commission to realize that that building is part of the Downtown Historic District, and thus it does get reviewed. Anything to the exterior does get reviewed by the Preservation Commission. And I think as we go forward with this building, I just want the Plan Commission to realize that there is a review, because this is in the Downtown Historic District, the City of Wausau's Historic District, that there is a review built in, and I just wanted the Plan Commission to realize that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And once again, public comment. Step right up, state your name.
Hi, I'm Ryan Gallagher. I own the building. We really want this building to celebrate downtown Wausau and Wausau's history, and want it to reflect Wausau's history to the maximum extent possible. There are some issues which Tim from Bolt can talk about, but nothing will be more Wausau if we can pull this off than what we're hoping for here. And we hope that it will be a reflection of our community and a place for people to come and celebrate Wausau. And we're still in the planning stages, so we're not sure if this is going to be a possibility. Terry, who's an icon of downtown Wausau and a great business person who has owned the cobblery for decades, is a great guy, but I think we all know that he's had his going out of business sales sign out there for probably 10 years or so, and he is looking to retire in the coming months and whatnot, and so we look to honor him as well in doing this project if we can pull it off. Obviously, this comes at an expense, no expense hopefully to Wausau. We don't look to seek any dollars for that. But Tim will speak to the condition of the building, because I believe this building was built after 1966, and the historic building was prior to that, which was a beautiful building, and unfortunately that one couldn't be preserved. But maybe, Tim, you could speak to the condition of this building.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm Tim Schmidt with the Bolt Company, Senior Project Manager, assisting the team here today that you got forth regarding the property. Some of the particulars I want to talk about here is what was submitted as part of the package is 3 different options. Options 1 and 2 were utilizing the existing masonry that was in place and fishing the structural steel into the facility in order to add on a second level. The third option that we're considering is to remove the existing masonry walls, because we just don't know the extent of structural capability of what those walls are right now. And with the vision, there's going to be a lot of new openings that are going to be pushed through that existing masonry, leaving a lot of opportunities for structural steel additions, masonry issues, and whatever we find behind the walls. So that's one of the key reasons why. The second key reason why we're asking for the rezoning is right now, as I understand, it's a high rise. And to be in compliance with the current zoning code, we should rightfully be in the downtown historic district. And it fits up to 2 stories, or between 2 and 4 stories, excuse me, and then conforms to the current zoning for the facade of that space. So really what we're after here is to not only be in compliance, so it's a non-conforming building if we were to do something not related to knocking down the walls, but gives us flexibility to evaluate our options as a team of what we can best fit within the footprint of that space. We'd be utilizing the existing footings, foundations, and the flooring system, reinforcing that with some columns and additional reinforcement structures, but then bringing it up ground up. So that kind of gives you some of the particulars there. There's a lot of challenges that we haven't recognized yet with the new structure utilizing the existing structure, if that makes any sense. Because as we build, we have to tie in that masonry wall into the new structure, and at some point the roofing system does have to come off, because the vision is to have a second level dining space or patio space that overlooks the 400 block. So the current structure as it sits right now would have to be heavily modified in order to accommodate that. So here by doing option 3, it gives us a lot more flexibility and the capability of making it right, sustainable, and designed appropriately for that type of use of space. Anything to add?
No, other than we have confirmation that there is a lot of asbestos in the building as well. I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. We'll continue on with the public hearing, then we'll have an opportunity to discuss and maybe ask some questions later. Anyone else wishing to speak as a public comment on the rezoning of 327 North 3rd? And to make it official one more time, this is a public hearing for rezoning 327 North 3rd Street from DRMU to a DHMU. Any public comments? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and we'll open up discussion and possible action on rezoning same 327 North 3rd Street from a DRMU, which is noted as a high-rise, to a DHMU, which is downtown historic mixed use, to allow for a restaurant and event space. Commission. Or Brad, did you want to confirm some of the commentary as far as the historical nature?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. Let me turn on my microphone. Oh, it's buried under there. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. So yeah, I guess just to confirm, like the mayor said, some of the issues at hand. If you look at the zoning map, the dark purple one in the corner is the subject property. Right now, it's the high-rise zoning district, and the rest of the block actually is the historic mixed-use district. So, just from neighboring property and overall, making sense of the different districts downtown. From that perspective, it seems to make a lot of sense that it's brought into harmony with the rest of the block. The issue with the proposed project is that the high-rise district has a minimum number of stories at 4. So anything less than that actually would not be allowed in that zoning district. The historic mixed-use district would allow 2 to 4 stories. So again, it's more, I guess, congruent with the neighboring properties on that block. The historic name that's in the district is just the name of the zoning district. It doesn't have any historic connotations per se, other than that's a traditional sort of development pattern, like a typical Main Street would have been developed. And I guess, pulling up some older photos, this is actually the building that was there before the current building. This was just pulled offline today. It's a 4-story building, 3 to 4-story building, built on the corner. Again, that's the historic fabric that was there before, that the rest of the block is sort of built to. The current building, it's not necessarily on the agenda, but, it's just a 1-story building without any windows on the Jefferson Street side, which is the side that, faces the 400 block. So just from a urban design or, architectural perspective, this isn't necessarily the best, treatment of a facade in the downtown, and it's 1 story. You generally want at least 2 stories in the downtown, even the traditional historic mixed-use district. So again, tonight is just the zoning. As mentioned before, the Historic Preservation Commission would get a review of the project once it's ready for building permits. We're not to that stage yet because it is part of the downtown historic district, which is an overlay district. Again, it's not zoning, but it's a historic overlay district. That would apply regardless of what the underlying zoning district that we're talking about here tonight is. And just to clarify, that the Friends Group is separate from the city. The Historic Preservation Commission is a city commission. The Friends Group is an outside, not affiliated with the city per se. So I guess that's all I got for now.
Thank you, Brad. I'd entertain a motion. We can have further discussion.
Motion to approve the amended changes?
Motion Brueggemann, second from Borneman. All right, further discussion, questions from the group? Mr. Borneman.
Yeah, question for Brad. Is there a design standard that has to be met for this too? Is there some type of review as far as, the materials used? And, it's not going to be a straight steel structure with steel walls and something that looks way out of place, or?
Sure. Yeah, we do have exterior building design standards that would apply basically in all of our zoning districts, especially the commercial ones. There's different standards for residential, commercial, industrial, but there are commercial design standards that would need to be in place. We're looking for, masonry, glass, we categorize materials class 1, 2, 3, 4. There's, I can't name the class 4, but it's just like sheet metal, like you're describing, cheaper stuff that's actually not permitted. And it can be used in some cases as accents, but, the majority of the building is going to need to be masonry, brick, stone, and glass. So those would apply. And again, there would be a review by the Historic Preservation Commission, but that would be just advisory only. So they would get a chance to review the building, offer any suggestions for the developers to consider, but it's really the zoning code and the exterior design standards are really what we have to enforce the look of the building. Does that answer it?
Yeah. But then I have one other, probably more of a statement than a question. So the only thing we're really doing here is just the rezone. We aren't picking a model for what they're going to do with the building, what they're going to save, or what they're going to do. It's just we have to take a look at this, and does the proposed zoning fit within the comp plan, and does it fit within the neighborhood? And, given the map you have up right there. Just a final question, just to satisfy my own curiosity. It probably was before I came on the commission, but was it 2000 you said that the zoning was changed? There was a proposal for a 4-story building or something higher than that, or?
Yeah, at the time, there was something in the works that never came to fruition, but when we were establishing the maps, our consultants took a look at it and said, well, this project is, in concept stage, it would make sense to rezone it, during the citywide rezone, rather than having to come back and rezone it.
Okay,
a
so it
short
wasn't a
time later.
specific plan, it was just
I
a
don't think it-
concept that?
Yeah, it was more of a concept. I don't know
Okay.
that it went through the process at the time, but it was something that had been in discussion with staff
Okay.
at the time.
All right, thank you.
I guess, going back to your earlier points. Yeah, it is a zoning change. We are looking at the map and, like you said, the comprehensive plan. That is in the staff report in terms of the criteria that the Plan Commission should weigh in on. And, staff gave the, I guess, responses that we felt were appropriate to that set of criteria, and we felt that it meets those criteria, and we recommended approval.
So this rezoning essentially brings it back into what it traditionally was, and
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, the high-rise, again, was done, separate from the rest of the block, and this district is actually slightly more restrictive in a sense, because, again, it allows between 2 and 4 stories, whereas the high-rise 4 and unlimited is what it would allow. So, again, it's more of a traditional type zoning district, and which, again, fits with the majority of Third Street, which is kind of the traditional Main Street pattern.
thank you. So we won't be able to put a second Dudley Tower, there's what you're telling us.
No.
All right, anything further?
Will this
Lindman.
follow the general, like a general development plan, site-specific plan as it goes through the development, Brad? Or will this, now that it's with the zoning, it will just follow the zoning and it'll be staff from this point forward?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'd just be staff review. Yeah, if it was a PUD, then it would need the plans to come back to council, but straight zoning, again, as long as they follow the exterior design standards and all of the other standards that are kind of baked into the zoning code, then there shouldn't be an issue. They'll just need to apply for permits and go through the Historic Preservation Commission for advice, and then they're, good to go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, with a motion and a second, seeing no further comments, questions, all in favor of rezoning DRMU to DHMU at 327 North 3rd, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes. Go get your shoes now. I hear there's a sale coming. All right, next meeting, January 21st, 2025. Any conflicts with that? We'll put that out officially, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Bulkin and Brueggemann, all in favor? See you later, guys. Merry Christmas.
Sure he does. It's got Taylor. Really? Congratulations. Thanks. Thanks. Enjoy the time off.
Well, good work.
See you. See you. See you, Bill. Have a good Christmas. You too. Thank you.